Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm going to just talk about some books that I'm starting the month of March with. If you've been watching my videos recently, you'll know that I'm kind of going off the idea of a monthly TBR. I'm kind of going off the idea of TBRs in general. I'm going to be loosely TBRing readathons in future, but not in the same way. And if you've seen my video on what I'm doing for the Buzzword Readathon this month, you'll know the kind of idea of what I'm going to do. But I thought I'd talk about the books that I'm starting the month off with, because I'm actually starting the month off with 4 books going all at the same time. And that's for various different reasons, but mainly because I've been finding that I've really been enjoying that. What I've been doing is I've been generally having a non-fiction book that I'm reading a certain number of pages a week. I've been having a buddy read book that I've been reading. If you've watched my buddy read SOS video, you'll know that I'm reading some big books, and thankfully loads of you wanted to take part in various different ones, and so there's the month for that this month, when we're reading a certain number of pages again a week. And then when those pages are sort of read, I tend to do those on the weekends. I then have Monday to Friday for sort of other books, and I've just been sort of whizzing through various different things that I fancy and just picking off the shelf. But I'm going into March with this particular book sort of underway, and that's Arusha and the End of Time by Roshana Chokshi. I'm reading this because it's on the shortlist for the BookTube SFF Awards, which I am a judge of. This falls into the middle grade category. So far I am about 70 pages in. It's okay. It's very reminiscent of Rick Riordan's stories, except we've got a female main character, but it's got that same sort of fast-paced, witty dialogue, spunky young person going into, you know, becoming the daughter of something she didn't realise, and then having to sort of go on a quest. So it's got that very similar vibe, but with a different setting, because here we are looking at sort of Indian mythology, and our main character is called Aru, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so far, and we will see how I feel. But so far she lives in a museum. She goes to this school, and she feels like nobody likes her, so she tells tall tales. She tells a lot of tall tales about things to try and sort of make herself better than she is. A lot of people she goes to school with are quite rich. Her and her mother live within the museum itself, and don't have much money, and so she's made up some tall stories, one being that she's gone off to France for the holidays. A couple of the not so nice children from her school have turned up at the museum to catch her out, and so she's made up this story, and she's showing them a particular artifact which she has been told her whole life not to set light to, because it will bring about all sorts of terrible things, and she decides she's going to do it. What harm can it do? And obviously it does quite a bit of harm, and she is then discovering who she is and going on this quest to try and save everybody from this destruction demon. So far it's okay. We'll see, but I'm going to be finishing that one. My buddy read with the group from my buddy read SOS video, we are reading this month The Queens of Innis Lear by Tessa Grattan. This is a relatively big book. We are doing about 150 pages of this a week. It's fantasy. It's a story of a king who's drained all the resources of where they live. He's sort of prophecy obsessed. It's about the 3 daughters who know that someone else needs to be crowned in order to sort of try and save where they live, and I'm sure it's going to be following that. It's going to be no doubt bloody and gory and maybe a bit political, so we're going to be reading that, and should have finished that by the end of the month. Then I am also going to be reading a non-fiction. I haven't decided how I'm going to split this up yet. I might just read it in one go, or I might read it sort of 100 pages over a couple of weeks. But I was very kindly sent this by the publisher. It's The Feather Thief, The Natural History Heist of the Century by Kirk Wallace Johnson. I did very briefly hear about this on Olive's channel, I believe, from a book Olive. I think it was her that I saw it, I'm almost positive it was, and she was saying how magnificent the story was and how much she enjoyed it. So I sort of had it on my radar. When I was contacted and asked if I was interested in receiving a copy for review, I was like, yes please, because this is about a heist in 2009 where Edward Rist broke into the Natural History Museum in Tring and stole one of the all these rare bird specimens. And I live quite near to the Natural History Museum in Tring. In fact, I frequent it quite regularly and my daughter loves it there, and so I thought, what a great way to sort of because I know this setting quite intimately, and I'm also going to try and get down there and film some of the things that are discussed in here, so when I come time to review, perhaps I can show you around the Natural History Museum in Tring and give you a bit of an idea of what it actually looks like. So I'm going to be reading that one. And then the fourth book that I'm going to be starting the month with is the book for the SFF Awards shortlist that I am running the read along on the Goodreads page, the SFF Awards Goodreads page this month, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. This is a review copy, so it doesn't actually look like this, but I will be running the read along for that, and I haven't read it yet because I always like to sort of do the read alongs along with everybody else. This again is a fairly whopping 560 pages, so I may be reading this a couple of hundred pages a week as well, so make sure you come and join us for that if you fancy it. This sounds like an interesting story. I mean, it's got brilliant ratings from people. It's a story of a place where magic has disappeared, and a young girl who has the opportunity to sort of bring magic back, and a group of people, or maybe at least one person that she sort of bands together to try and do this. And as I say, I've heard nothing but great things about this. So 4 books I'm starting March with. I'm looking forward to all of them. 3 fantasy and 1 non-fiction, and I shall be reading bits of all these, and as and when I finish them I'll come back and let you know how I get on. So let me know if you've read any of these, and if you're reading along with us for the SFF Awards, I'll link down below the Goodreads page where you can go and join up if you want to take part in that. So that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.